Hello, I'm Dr. David Hamilton, and this is a reading from my book, The Joy of Actually Giving an F. And this is from chapter 1, Kindfulness. Have you ever wondered why the world seems to be so chaotic, complicated, and downright crabby sometimes? One reason might be that we've forgotten how important it is to genuinely give an F about each other. Here's why that matters. For starters, kindness feels good. Remember the last time someone held the door for you, smiled at you randomly, or just listened when you had a really crappy day? Felt nice, right? That's because kindness is like this universal language that deep down we all understand and appreciate. Plus, as we'll see, it sets off a feel-good party in our brain and heart that actually makes us happier and reduces our blood pressure. Life's a team sport. Like it or not, we're all on this giant rock called Earth together. It's a group project. And we all know that group projects suck when one person is slacking off or being an ass. When we support each other, life gets a little easier and a lot more fun. And you know what? Karma's a thing. Forget the mystical side of it for a second. Let's think practically. If you help out today, there's a good chance someone will be there for you tomorrow. Call it selfish altruism if you will, but it works. Being an ass usually comes back to bite you on the rear end. And let's not forget human connection. Believe it or not, our brains are hardwired to connect. That's right, every like, share, comment, hug or chat over coffee is more than just a moment. It's our brain's way of saying, hey, I need this to feel alive and happy, so why starve it? Giving an F about each other makes the world less scary. The more we care about others, the more we realise that most people are just like us, trying to figure things out and hoping for a good day. It's easier to fear what you don't know. But once you get to know people, the world seems a lot smaller and cosier. So next time you're tempted to scroll past someone's problems, dismiss someone's feelings, or just be in your own little bubble, remember, the world's a better place when we all give a little F. Let's sprinkle that stuff everywhere like it's magical kindness glitter. Now, this first chapter is called Kindfulness. Sounds like mindfulness, doesn't it? That's not an accident. Once upon a time, mindfulness was mostly about being mindfully aware as part of doing other stuff, and that often meant being kind. It still does to some people, mostly mindfulness teachers. But in the ever-evolving quest for inner peace and mental well-being that we're all on, and that's become so fashionable these days, mindfulness meditation has emerged as a cornerstone practice. It's rooted in ancient wisdom and fortified by contemporary psychology. It says, be present, observe your thoughts without judgment, and cultivate an awareness of the now. The trouble is, most people nowadays learn it from an app. While I love apps, they need to grab our attention early on. So you open the app, the instruction is usually short, and then boom, you know mindfulness. It's like a scene from The Matrix, where Neo receives a download and then reports, I know Kung Fu. But the original teaching of mindfulness came from Buddhism, and was much more extensive. It included instructions on ethics, that is, in kind and compassionate thinking, attitudes, and how to communicate without being a grump, and moral conduct as well. It was a full course meal, ethics, kindness, and good vibes all rolled into one. Fast forward to the 1980s and 1990s, and to make the practice more acceptable in clinical environments, mindfulness sought a divorce from its ethical roots. It was a trial separation at first. It was remixed into mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, which was designed to reduce stress and improve psychological well-being in hospital outpatients. It was mindfulness light, minus all the ethical, cultural and kindness-based teachings. And whoa, did the light version hit the big leagues. Schools, tech giants like Google, even the US Army were all over it. And it was mindfulness without the strings attached. Forget all the deep soulful stuff, just sit, breathe and voila. It was all about the psychological benefits of the seated practice and how they could benefit the individual and the organisation. The divorce was finalised, the paper signed, there was no going back. Now, with our tech skyrocketing faster than you could say namaste, mindfulness has had the app treatment. But just remember, while apps might make things snappy, sometimes they're just swiping left on the real essence. There's more to mindfulness than a digital quickie. Why should you give an F anyway if mindfulness is now mindfulness light? If it works for you, then great, awesome, case closed. But it's not just about you, it's about us. Like it or not, we're in this game called life together, and the sooner we start helping each other, the easier it's going to be to get to the next level. Expanding your view from me to us can really ramp up the positive vibes flying around and dish out a whole load of health benefits for you and your loved ones that you wouldn't even imagine. But I'll move on to that soon. I'm getting a wee bit ahead of myself here. Back to mindfulness. Nowadays, hardly anyone who learns mindfulness knows how it was originally taught and the importance it was placed upon kindness in how we think, speak and act. Maybe it's time for mindfulness to get back into bed with kindness. I am Dr. David Hamilton. That was a reading from my book, The Joy of Actually Giving an F, and that was from chapter 1, Kindfulness.